and assessed the defendant's punishment at 10 years imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
Hey, it's iCkEdMeL. A couple things I want to talk about. This is going to be a brief video, but tonight I'm going to come back and make a more detailed video. You guys comment down below and let me know some of the points in the case by trial timestamp you think that I should cover. There's a lot of details that need to be covered by this, and I am seeing and learning that there's a lot of people that don't understand what's going on. Some people that are just reading the headlines and not understanding some things. And you can tell there's some people that are just bandwagon that literally just hopped on this story now, never heard of it before. Now, the first thing I have to get out the way is that the judge did not sentence Amber Guyger. The judge did not sentence Amber Guyger. The jury did. The jury decided the murder charge.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Guyger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
Which when she was charged with murder, a lot of people were surprised because with what was presented and from what I've seen, a lot of people thought that they were, in the least, we're going to go with manslaughter. A lot of people didn't see it going to murder. So the jury chose to go with murder. And I believe there's a reason for that. I've seen the comments in the live stream that I did. I believe it's because at one point in the stand, she said she intended to kill him. She shot to kill him.
At the moment in time when rubber meets the road, when you pulled that trigger, you intended to kill Mr. John.
He was the threat, yes, sir.
Will you answer my question? When you aimed and pulled the trigger at Mr. John, shooting him in center mass exactly where you are trained, you intended to kill Mr. John.
I did.
Now, when they came back with that murder charge, it threw everybody for a flip. And Lee Merritt and a lot of the activists were excited. They were hopeful. And I was a little kind of like, I don't know. And I seen some people saying too, let's wait for the sentencing. So you see a lot of people got caught up with the charge of murder. And they thought, well, this is the end all be all. We're all good to go. She got 10 years. And the jury selected the sentencing. If you would have seen the final closing statements, it's obvious that they were choosing the sentencing. Now, this is something, I guess, that's done in Texas. It surprised me. A lot of people are surprised about this too. In Texas, I guess, apparently you're given the option, the defendant, to choose who chooses your sentencing. And you have to do this before the trial starts. So Amber Guyger chose the jury. So the interesting thing here too about the jury is that it was mostly made up of minorities, blacks, Latinos, and I heard it was like 2 white people. So there's a lot of people saying about the system and the system and the system, but your own community, your own people in Texas chose that sentencing for a reason. I'm not sure. It's hard to say what's on a jury's mind. But the judge didn't choose that. The police didn't choose that. The system didn't choose that. The jury chose that. That's the facts of it. And I see a lot of people that are misinformed about this, believing that the judge made that sentencing. And I just wanted to make that clear. Now, I have to go. I got to get my day started. But there's so much to talk about. You know, Botham Jean's brother forgiving Amber Guyger, saying I love you, saying that she shouldn't even be sentenced. Like he doesn't even want her to be in jail. It's important to note that that was his impact, witness impact or victim impact testimony. He said that he's not speaking on his family's behalf. He's a young guy. I thought what he did was amazing. It was a loving, amazing thing. At the same time, you have to look at it as he's young. It's something, I don't even know. It was a beautiful thing when I saw it in the moment. But there were some other historical things that we have to take note, okay? The judge, she faced some criticism, and we're going to talk about this in detail. I don't have any more time to add clips to this video. I'm sorry. But the judge, she got off the stand, went and hugged Amber Guyger, gave her a Bible. The other thing that was really interesting is that they used, Texas has their own rules and laws and regulations. From where I'm from here, we call it stand your ground, but Texas calls it Castlevania defense, whatever you want to call it. Stand your ground, which she allowed to be taken into factor for this, which Amber Guyger couldn't have stood her own ground in a place that's not her own. but I guess they were trying to do that to allow from people to look from her perspective, I guess. The other thing that they allowed in there that people thought was messed up was sudden passion, which is one of those things where it's supposed to be like, I think, like the heat of the crime, the heat of the moment. Like, let's say you come home and you find your wife cheating on you or something like that, and you just lose control and you kill somebody. That's like a sudden passion kind of thing. So they allowed that in there too, even though they don't, I don't know. It's just too much, man. There's a lot of things that we need to get into. So comment down below. Let me know some of those points of this case that you want me to bring up, that you want me to talk about, that we can bring to people's attention, because I understand that a lot of people didn't have time. I didn't have time for a lot of the trials to sit there 8 and 9 hours to listen to the trials. A lot of people just went and looked at the highlights. But you can clearly tell there's some people that don't understand how that thing is working over there. Because let me ask you this, and I'll end off on this note. The people are unsatisfied with the system. That's clear, right? But the system literally put the charge and the sentencing, it was literally left in the community's hands. It was literally put back to the people. Isn't that democracy right there? I think the fact is a lot of people got this wrong, including myself. Or maybe I didn't get it wrong, I got it right. Manslaughter, murder charge. She got a charge of pretty much manslaughter, really. And one of the things that I've mentioned, and I've seen multiple people talk about, and you have to prove intent, right? Premeditation. And that's kind of hard, because it's like you literally have to get inside somebody's mind. Now, a lot of people say murder is murder, killing is killing. I understand that. But in the court of the law, which you have to try to understand, in order to understand, in order to beat, in order to try to get over, you got to try to start understanding some of the system. It's hard to prove motive or intent. They tried to do that with her social media stuff and her disregard or her racist social media posts and things like that. But you have to prove some sort of motive or intent or premeditation. And I think that's where things got lost a little bit here. Now, the prosecutor, he did a good job, because he got her to say she intended to kill him. So there's a lot that we got to talk about, and we will. And here's the other thing that I'll throw at you before I get out of here is 10 years may not really even be 10 years, because she can literally serve 5, and at 5 she'll be eligible for parole. And at that parole hearing, let's say Botham Jean's brother goes to that parole hearing, or maybe some other family members go to that parole hearing, they can push along that parole being accepted. Most likely, if the brother or some of the family went there, they could help her get 5 years. So it's interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are loving that the brother forgave her, gave her a hug, a thing of redemption. A lot of people feel that black people are so forgiving, too forgiving. There's a lot of different opinions across the spectrum. So comment down below. Thank you guys. I appreciate the support. Have a great day. And thank you to my Patreon supporters. Peace.